that, but may God help us. It's a lesson that we must learn, or we'll learn the hard way sooner or later. Vain is the help of man. Now, let's study this. Not in just one department of life, but you're going to find, if you've not already found out, that in every area of life, vain is the help of man. All right? But that's the reason. Because anything that man can do for you is short-lived. Do you understand it? You get it, children. Now, it's disturbing that many of us would just panic and shift all of our focus on the ability of man to come to our rescue in whatever area. And it seems that many of us should have learned by now that even if somehow we resort to man, as even the last resort, and get some temporary relief, it's not going to last. You can't. But now many of us are so carried away with the relief for the moment that we forget about the long-range effect of it. Now you get it, children. See, listen. Now, usually when we deal with a subject of this sort, our mind reflects to one thing, perhaps, and that is maybe divine healing or doctors and that kind of thing. But, oh, should we talk about something so much more tonight? Vain is the help of man, but the reason why we're placing such strong emphasis is because, from my observation and my experience, I've seen that most people, despite their testimony, they will almost resort to man in times of real serious trouble. Why, what does he say? Who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? Will thou, O God, who hast cast us off, and will not thou, O God, go forth with our host? Give us help from trouble. That's what he said. In another passage in Psalm, he says, my help comes from God. He said, I know the source of my help. Now, many of us, we talks about it and God's capability, but my help comes from God. I know where my help comes from. How do you know? But that's why I resort to nothing else. See that? I'm not impressed with testimony. Oh, I know God is my helper, but this is the situation. Well, where do you go for help? You talk about help from God, but you go to somebody else for actual help. You pray with us tonight. Through God, we shall do valiantly. You get it? Through God. For he it is, will you please pray, that shall tread down our enemies. Don't you realize they want things that are coming against you? The Bible says our enemies are too strong for us. Don't you realize that? You have situations that will bring you to naught. Things are piled up on you, and your ability to overcome them is overwhelming. It's too much for you. Now, you can get your pencil, you can get your paper, you can go to this source and that source, and you can listen to radio broadcasts and tell you about these programs that will get you out of debt. You can say what you want to say. Maybe you're debt-free and all this kind of thing, but you see how you end up. They want many of us have situations that are too strong for us. Do you understand? They are mathematically and any other way you might look at it, view it, it is too much for you. You got problem, you got situation. You're trying to solve situation. Well, you follow him. And you're trying to use a mediator. Listen, I was reminiscing yesterday. I said, in this congregation, the enemy has arranged things for our demise, and there's no way we could have existed if we had not actually really trusted God. Now when things are forming against us, I could have got another side and tried to subdue that side, but that would have just brought it to shambles. I might have prevailed in a measure. Will y'all pray? I'm going to tell you something, children. I've seen those who tried to deal with difficult situations, and they panic and they begin to solicit help from here and begin to get cliques and clans and someone to overcome this uprising. You praying with me? And when you have problems in your home and whatnot, you begin to get other people to intervene and use that chicanery and that schemes and that skill to outwit or to offset this situation. And in most instances, if you get any help at all, it's temporary, and the situation eventually worsens. You pray with me tonight. You are going to learn, I trust at long last, if you're going to have any real help, it's going to be through standing on your face before God. I don't care if the ministry, the pastor, I don't care what it is. I'm telling you tonight. Any lasting help that you have, you can scab it over if you want to. You can get somebody on your side and to try to hold you up and all this, but that's not going to do it, should I tell you tonight. You can go to this agency and this source and that source. Vain is the help of man. You know what? Let me tell you something, children. That's why many times we go to pieces when we have maybe some kind of court litigation or something of the sort. Why? Because we put all of our stock in somebody who said they can pull some string for us, they can work it out for us. And when they fail, or when you lose the case, you go to pieces. When you think you got it all nailed down, and you got those in authority and those with honor and prestige and on your side, and you sit up there contented that they're going to come to your rescue and work it out for you, and then when he doesn't, you are in a real situation. Now, if you are talking about despair and despondency, you get somebody that you think going to the bat for you, who got the authority, who's going to pull strings, and then you find out that they are absolutely hopeless in this situation. And all of your hope and your future happiness and all of this kind of thing is predicated upon them prevailing in your behalf. I'll take care of the situation for you. And you just go in and rest and relax and go to sleep. Well, if you knew the outcome, you'd have a nightmare. You got situations, I know you have, all of you, varying in degrees, but you got them. And when you're in trouble, you're going to reach for something. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. It's only human. And usually you will resort to something that you see or that's most available, or that which you think might have brought results for others. Y'all better pray. I got a situation. Oh, yeah, my doctor did such and such. Where is he? I think we go all the way down to Florida. There's a guy down there supposed to have some rattlesnake venom. And that's supposed to be curing a certain kind of disease. And people pray them to go all the way to Florida down to get some rattlesnake stuff. I mean, and they'll go there, and they cannot afford to go, and they pay their money and get down there and come back worsened. They might get a little psychological boost for a moment, and then they flop for good. You understand? Listen. I don't care. Listen. There are times that I tell my children, and nobody, I go, hold it. I don't need you help in this situation. I don't need you to rescue. This is between me and God. This is between me and God. I got to pray this one through. And it grieved me when people are so sad, so spiritually shallow, that they will call anybody to enter into a carnal conflict to bring them out on top. Isn't that pitiful? Don't trust God for nothing. Don't you know when you got a situation here that you should pray through and you call somebody else to get them on your side or to help you with your opposition, don't you know that's carnal and you're going to lose? You're going to lose big. You don't do that. You are entering into a carnal battle. Turn to 26th chapter, Matthew, quickly. I want to show you something. You better get the lesson tonight. Matthew 26:50. Matthew 26:50. You better live by this, I declare. All right.
And Jesus said unto him,
Jesus said unto him, Friend,
wherefore
art
art thou
thou come?
Then came they,
Then came they
and laid their hands
and
on
laid
Jesus,
hands on Jesus
and took him.
And
behold, one of them,
one of them
with Jesus,
which were with Jesus
stretched out
his hands
drew his sword,
and drew his sword
and struck
and
a servant
struck
of the
a
high
servant
priest,
of the high priest
and smote off his ear.
and smote off his ear.
Then said Jesus
unto him,
Put up again thy
Put
sword
up again thy
into thy
sword.
place.
Listen, I don't need your vain help. I know the odds against me and the enemy is arrayed against me and he's designed for my destruction. But I am not living by your help. You understand? And listen, and furthermore, if I needed some help in this situation, I know where to get it from. It is available to me. And vain is your help. But wait a moment. I'm going to show you something here. Read a little more of that. Read it, please.
Then said Jesus unto him,
Jesus said unto him, what?
Put up again
Your sword
into his place.
In his place.
For all they that take the sword shall perish.
I want to show you something tonight. You better get it, children. Thank God I learned this. If you take the sword, you're going to perish with it. If you start fighting the sword, you got to keep slinging it. And finally, you're going to end up with your head cut off. How many people have I seen do it down through the years? You know, oh, Pastor, I want to come to your rescue. Pastor, they do you wrong. Pastor, oh, they're getting gangs again. Just wait just a moment. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Might I believe God? Well, I believe that. I believe the whole thing. And therefore, why? Then I don't call for no help. One of the first disappointing situations that I got one time was a church conflict when after I got saved, and the minister he was afraid that they might oust him. He said, who you going to vote for? And I saw a faithlessness that troubled me. He had raised all his children without a drop of medicine and all this kind of thing. But it came to his security in his last days, and he wanted to begin to resort to man and who you going to vote for and all this kind of thing, and who you going to stand for. I said, wait a minute. It's God's hand. What can anybody do to you? If they do, they're doing it to their own detriment. They can't prevail against you. I said, Lord, it's your cause. And if you can't protect me, then it's up to you. I have no personal interest here. This is no personal thing. I'm not here for personal gain. It's your call. And if you can't protect and sustain me, then that's up to you. Come on. Yes, man can pull a string for you. But the help is so temporary and so flimsy and so short-lived. He said, look, man, he said, that's not the way I live. I don't need your help. And if you help me, it would be vain, because this is my lot in life. Put your sword up. Thank God. Listen, I'm praying through. And that's what he did. I'm before God. I am before God. And I'm going to pray the situation through, and I know it's going to come out all right. But if you might crawl to the servant's ears and heads off, that wouldn't solve my problem. I don't need that kind of help. You need to get something in your soul and know what you're dealing with and know God and say, I don't need that kind of help. You'd rather bribe me and offer me money for this, that, and all this kind of stuff. I don't need that kind of help. I don't need that kind of help. You understand? Oh, listen, you get all your bills paid up, and all you got to pay is 18% interest. I don't need that kind of help. You mess me up. You're not trying to help me. You're trying to get me out of there. You're trying to get me in debt. I don't need that kind of help. I'm trusting God because I don't think I could glorify God because I couldn't pay my debt and then I'd mess up my reputation. After a while, you're going to grow weary in trusting God if you're uncareful. The Bible said, be not weary in well-doing. You're going to get tired. Trusting God for this, trusting God for this. Just like the Israelites, trusting God to fight my battle, trusting God to give me some bread, trusting God for my shoes. And they got tired. Give us a king. I'm tired of this stuff. Trusting God, trusting God, trusting God. If I get sick, trust God. Need money, trust God. Need this, pray this down, pray that down. I'm tired. Give me some visible help. Now let me tell you something, children. That's why Jesus told Peter to pray that your faith don't fail you. I don't care how much you've been trusting God. Your faith can fail you. You can break anywhere along the way and start grabbing for straws. But you better live with this consciousness. And many times you sigh with relief when you can resort to man. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to change your whole conviction so you won't feel bad about it. And then you're in a mess. Then you're going to try to justify what you've done. Then you're in a situation. Vain is the help of man. I thank God I learned that early, children. Vain, yes, man can help. I am not going to say, oh, man, nothing man can do for you. Yes, they can too. Man can give you chemical curatives and cut you open and get some things out of you and you'll live longer. And you'll come out of here and you'll walk out and in 3 or 4 days you'll be all right. At least temporarily. And, oh, yeah, they can do something. They can do something. Now they make a lot of mistakes, but they can do something too. They can extend life. We're not taking that away, but vain is itself. That doesn't take away the advantage of it. It's vain. It's vain because you're going to die anyway, maybe next year. And you'll probably be worse off than you are now. And your spiritual condition will probably be worse than everything else, so you better pray. And after a while, you give me a pill to make me feel so good, but now you got to give you another one to keep that messing you up. And on and on and on. I used to fill up there to come up to the body shop. I talked to him all the time about his condition, and he said, well, I got to give him another, I got to get a blood thinner, but it keep me cold all the time. I got to get to dissolve a blood clot, but they're going to do something else to me. And he go back and he say, yeah, you up the dosage. You cut the dosage off and whatnot, you know. Got one friend who calls us all the time where he had a situation and he went to the doctor to kind of, because his emotions run away with him and he started doing wild stuff, and they give him some stuff to kind of sedate him and to kind of slow him down and mummify him and all this kind of thing. But now he's still going forth. Locked him up in different preaching from the back and then open. I got on the back and started preaching hollering. Now they can't do anything else. Maybe put him in a straitjacket and just dope him beyond reason. You understand? You're going to get into some situations, children. And your champion won't be able to help you. Your champion won't wait to come to the rescue this time. You understand? I call daddy for some help. Well, one time your daddy won't have nothing to help you with. I call wealthy brother so and so. Brother Susak said one time, he got his lesson one time. Usually when he go to a place, he trusts God for his transportation, for his lodging and everything else. And so to get him from one place to another. So he said, this place got some well-to-do saints. So I don't have to worry about this time. So he went there, and when the meeting was over, they dismissed, and everybody went their way. He get no offering, nowhere to stay, so he ended up sleeping under the church doorstep. Trusting, I learned by trusting in man, well-to-do saints, or anybody else. when I needed the most, they let me down. You understand? I'm going to tell you something, children. You can better not have your champion if you want to, but one time your champion won't be able to pull no string for you. You better learn to trust God. You can go to the place where you always got results and you won't get it this time. Then you're in a real situation. So that's why you better start off learning how to trust God. I keep telling you this. How many times have I seen the doctor shake his head and walk away? Come on. Doctor, can't you help us? I'm afraid not. And many times when they think they can't. Other day one said, just like the testimony a few moments ago, said the doctor had lung cancer and the doctor thought they got it, and it came back and now it's all over. Now she's got weeks to go. He helped her. But vain. Now she's going through it all over again. She got to fashion her mind now all over again. She got to go through the acting again. Her people got to suffer again. All of that got to go over again. Now, I get to begin with, she had set herself and done whatever she thought was necessary to prepare herself. But now, she got a little temporary relief and relaxed, and now got to go through all of that agony again. And I would suspect tonight she's saying, I wish I'd gone the first time. Rather than go through all of this mind-boggling and this torment of this mental torment, I just wish I'd gone. He helped her, but it was so vain. And nobody knows better than she. Isaiah chapter 2, verse 22. Oh, God help us tonight. Isaiah 2:22. What does it say? All right. 2:22 says, cease. You hear what it says? Cease ye from man. I know something in the natural, and maybe you should. But you can only put so much stock in a husband. Oh, praise the Lord. Now I went to work no more, and I got somebody to bring me a check over the weekend. I give you, oh, my. I'll never be lonely again. You can relax in it if you please. Now, there's a certain amount of relaxation. I'm sure that you look forward to something with eager anticipation and expectation. That's only natural. But I'm going to tell you something, children. Don't let it completely down on nobody but God. I am telling you tonight, in our meeting here about 6 years ago, a young lady had finally landed her a man, got married, and I think he was about 34 years old. And the mother said, Brother Hampton, said, please pray for my daughter. Says, she is seemingly almost about to go insane. But she's got her husband. He's 34 years old, and he had some kind of condition, and he became impotent. And she is having almost conniptions. Cease from man, because he ceased. All right. Isn't that tough? You've invested all that you have, and now I can live happily ever after. And your light goes out almost immediately. Now you're in a real situation. Now you have nothing else to look to. I looked at the Lord. You should have done that first. That's what she should have done. But there's probably no God in the union to begin with. In many cases. Cease the man whose breath is in his nostrils. Before he can finish his counsel, he might be gone. Before he can finish his series of counsels and instructions, he might be gone and leave you hanging. Before he can finish his experimentation on you, he might die and leave you hanging, and the next one don't know where to pick up. All right, you used to have a guy in Toledo, Ohio called Marrying Sam. He put people together. You might have some people in the congregation who find mates for you, but you better cease from them. They might do a vain search next time, and you're expecting them to come through for you. We sing a song, pray until the answer comes. That's what I recommend. That's what I recommend, children. Let me tell you something. Contrary to what many of us think, many of us are existing on the help of man. We go here, we go there, and there's no end to it. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. You depend on man to get you out of this, to get you out of this, to comfort you here, to console you there. I guess poor Job had suffered everything else. And certainly he thought his wife, I could rub his head and say, be encouraged, Job. But she was one of mankind. And I guess if that was the straw that would have broken the camel's back, that would have been it. After he had gone through such devastating defeats and losses, she said, well, you just curse God and die. His champion folded upon him. You understand, children? I would not be afraid to venture a statistic tonight and say that maybe 3/4 of the people here tonight are trusting in a greater or lesser degree on man. I got people right now who may be going to despair. They felt that man would negotiate their affairs for them, and they fell through, and then they hit the bottom. They thought that chief negotiator would work things out for them, and it didn't. And they were out there. Children, you listen to me tonight. Well, give me an illustration. Okay. Maybe I'll jump out here and I say, well, son, I'm moving down to Arizona, so I want you to sell my house and send me the money. And so I just jump down there looking for, he's good at that, and he can negotiate those matters. And I was in Baker for a year and a half, and now here I am broken and looking for the money, and now I've accumulated a lot of expenses and whatnot because I thought my champion son, who knows how to do that, would negotiate fair and send me a great big fat check. And now here I'm scraping the bottom now, and my affairs are in such a mess now. If I get a little check, now it's going to be gone. Cease for man, children. I keep telling you, you better listen to me tonight. You'll mess around and you'll fall through the bottom. Cease from man. Trust the Lord. One person to another trying to find a solution. Go to, the Bible says in the multitude of counsel there's Satan. We understand that, see. But now you better take that so far. You got to comb through that. And you got to determine whether what is safe and whether you're trusting man here to get you out of here, or you're just seeking some reasonable counsel so you know what direction to take. You better get it clear. See, if by any means you put your foot across the line and you're depending on man, that's the whole issue, children. That's the whole issue. It's not the legal aspect, but are you trusting in man for anything? All these things and all these radio programs, and everybody got solutions for you. Got a surefire solution, an infallible solution, and all this kind of thing. And after a while, you go around and arrange all your affairs, hoping that this thing that person proposed will come to pass in your behalf, and you jump out there on it. Well, you've been praying, haven't you? Why'd you shift? Oh, I thought the Lord would give me that as a solution. Well, you better be sure. You better be very sure. I'm telling you this. The whole issue of our lives is to trust God to see us through. There's no other way through successfully. I keep telling you this. I mean, and if you call trusting God what's not trusting God, well, you're going to suffer anyway. God knows them that trust in Him. God knows when you're wavering. He knows the whole situation. He knows when you're oscillating, going back and forth. God knows. Come on. You got a situation pending right now. And it's posing a great problem. And the outcome looks bleak. And you're sitting up trying to determine what man can offer you a solution. And you're writing down a whole list of people called in the morning to work this out, work that out. Well, now, we know some instances. We know man is an intermediary. But this is the situation, see. But if you're not careful, you're going to find yourself shifting your trust. You understand? You see, you did well, but who did hinder you? You got tired. And you didn't cease from man, you ceased from God. I'm telling you, children, listen. Now, the Bible said God will perfect that which concerneth you. Now, you got a situation, and you prayed, and the result does not seem to be too visible. And you decide you're not getting any result because of your dim vision. Then you start resorting to the same old thing, the arguments and debating and striving. It's so sad. Why don't you pray? I've been praying already. But the situation, now you're going to start using this mean and that mean and this method and that method. If not trusting an outside man, you're going to trust in this man. But you've already failed there. That's why you prayed in the first place, because you couldn't get nowhere like that. You got far behind. So now why don't you leave him alone? Then you obligate God. See, when you're trusting God, you obligate God. Vain is the help of man. I'm keep telling you this, children. I know you see so many people seem to be receiving such great help and such great relief and such solutions, and you will almost invariably do it, but you better know what you're doing. The Word of God is right. We find too many instances in the Bible where people shifted and began to shift from God to man, and you saw the outcome in each case, and you won't be the exception. You will not be the exception. Listen, children, when you're going through for God, and God has assigned a situation to you, regardless of how dim or dismal it might be, it's yours and God's. And to resort to any other source, you're going to put it in a irreversible trend. You're going to throw it all out of proportions. But here's the danger. Then you've got to stay with your champion. See, when you choose him, you got to stay with him. And then it will be an endless retrogression. Oh no, you got to stay with him now. You jumped out on him, now you got to stay with him. I've had so many experiences, but I can't stop now. What? Because you put your confidence there, and now you feel that if I cease, I'll fall through. Oh yeah, you mess your mind up, you mess everything up. I keep telling you, you get off balance here. You'll get totally off balance. When you start resorting to man, you can't stop just like that. Then you'll come to the end of a long, dreary road and find out that your confidence has been in the wrong place. And it is very consequential. Now you've got yourself in a mess that you won't be able to get out of. There's no more string to pull. There won't be no legal loopholes this time. There will be nothing. I keep telling you this. You mark my word, children. Cease from man whose breath is in his nostrils. You got some situations, and you don't have to try to take no vote. Who's on my side? Who supported me? Who supported my view? Wait a minute. You spend all your time trying to get your little crew together to support your situation or your side or your ideas and all this kind of thing, and your cause. If I know I'm doing right and I'm praying, well then, I leave it to you and God. If you can support me, if you do it, if you don't have to. Because the success of my program will not be whether or not you support me, or whether you loosen your purse string. You know, well, if you don't do it, God, somebody else will do it, and you'll go to naught. That's what Mordecai told us. If you don't do it, well, then God will bring deliverance somewhere else, and you and your father's house will go to naught. So I ain't worried about you. You just want it. If you don't stand, that's you're going to pay the price. You're going to fear the king more than you fear God. If he doesn't hold out the scepter, I'll die. Well, wait till tomorrow. You're going to die anyway. You're going to die anyway. You're going to die anyway. And all the rest of your people are going to die. Not only you. This is a tremendous thing. I keep telling y'all this, children. We are in something here.
We advocate trusting God for everything. I mean, not just, we're not talking about nobody now. We're talking about for your everyday situations, for your sustenance. You're going to find yourself, I keep telling you, you're going to get dishonest. You're going to find, if you do that, if you start trusting man, you're going to get in a jam, and you're going to start doing shady things to survive. You're going to do shady things to survive. Because you trust in man, and he's going to make some suggestions. Well, I can do it if you do this. Well, if you sign this. And you're going to find yourself doing it. It's charging you an illegal interest. Well, you're supporting an illegal cause. The borrower for a person is going to charge you illegal interest. Don't you know that? Come on, that's illegal. You're not licensed to do that. Well, I don't need give me $250. Wait, you don't have no license for that. But you're in a jam now, and you do anything. You better cease, man. You better lose everything I just sold. Trying to survive with the help of man. This is a tremendous thing. I'm trying to tell you this, children. That's why men don't give results here. You got to do it God's way. You can't just put your foot across the line because you're in trouble. You can't do that. But around these attorneys have you lying and everything else to get out of trouble. Or get your situation of padding this and padding that, fabricating this and trying to show you. Don't you do that. Don't you do that, right? God, just let it go. Just take this stuff as a loss. Forget it. Trust God for the outcome. Amen. I'm telling you this. Start off like that. Don't start off like that. Then you got to keep going. You mess around and tell you do something shady, then you got to tell another lie. You got to tell another lie. Keep on, no. And that's why you end up a liar. And no liar. All liars shall have their part in that lake. Every last one of them. Well, then I would have lost everything. Well, you're going to lose everything anyway, including your soul. All right. We're going to turn you loose. We're going to turn you loose. The word of God is right, surely. And you can't get it. You cannot have any success aside from it. No success aside from the word of God. No success otherwise. So, and we're living in an era now. We're living in an era now where the order of the day is to find somebody who can solve my situation, who can give me a solution, and an easy one, and that's what everybody's looking for more or less. And you got people that are just waiting to offer you something. If men don't have one, they'll concoct one. Cease from man. Cease from man. Just going to do it. I'll take care of you. I'll cover for you. What you mean you'll cover for me? I don't need your cover to be too short. My feet will be out. And if I close my feet, my head will be out. So I don't need your cover. It's a tremendous thing, children. I am telling you, children, do it right the first time. Do it right the first time. And you want to keep finagling with it. Otherwise, you're going to be messing with it as long as you live, fixing it and re-writhing it and tightening up this and welding this and trying to straighten out this. You're going to spend the rest of your life trying to get a mess straightened out that you thought would have been an easy solution. That you felt would have been an easy solution. I'm telling you that, children. Cease from man. I got somebody working it out for me. You better let God work it out for you. You better let God work it out for you. Okay, you got yourself in a mess now. Just ask God for mercy and let him work it out for you. You understand? Now, maybe you've not done that. You prayed in time past and took it on the chin, but it didn't seem like God was coming through. It seemed like God was asleep, so you took it back in your own hand. Now you're fussing and you're striving again. Now you're contending and trying to out-scheme somebody. It didn't work the first time. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. That's man. That's man. I'm not going to help tonight. I'm going to really cast this thing on God in the right way. Now, if you choose to pursue your own course and just keep on with it, well, then you go ahead. And maybe you'll learn at long last that it's unworkable. Shall we stand? Shall we stand? My God, shall we stand? You're going to have some situations. You're going to have some, and some of you got them already. And I assure you. And they're going to work themselves out. God have mercy upon us. You're going to try to steady the ark on the cart, and God will kill you. Because I don't need your help. You know you're not supposed to touch it. There are some situations you're not supposed to touch because God told you. You know the right way to do it. I keep telling you this, so you better wake up, praise our God. Who was it who touched the card? What's his name? You know him. What's his name? Huh? Other. We don't want to add other to your name. Amen, amen, amen. Listen, God says, only the Levites are supposed to touch their hand. Well, Lord, I thought it was going to fall off. Let it fall. If I don't catch it, let it fall. If I don't work it out, let it go to naught. That's not your job. I told you what I wanted you to do, get the car down, get it down there. I knew about the rough roads. I knew all the situations. And I don't need your help. And the sooner you learn that, the better off you are. How many times? God had to remind me that maybe 1,000 times. The church, you don't own the church. Who kept the church before you came on the scene? The devil didn't put it out of business. How you going to put it out of business now? Sure, I have those thoughts. The devil could, I'm human as you are. I think, the devil going to tear it up and they're going to do this, that, and the other thing. And the devil got something working here, got something working there. And the Lord had to sober me. What do you think you are? I said the gates of hell will not prevail. And you're not going to be the source that keep it from prevailing. You kept it from prevailing before you came on the scene anyway. And if you die, who's going to keep it going? So you ain't got to do it. So you don't have to worry yourself. Praise our God. Seats for man. Breath in the nostril. You might get a hit. You got to die for wedding time. Seats for man. You got to get by another man. Well, praise the living God. This is a tremendous thing. What I'm telling you is to your own benefit, children. I'm sure you might think you have an advantage because you can reach at something that you see and something that seems to have been proven. Well, what's been proven more than God? One time an individual told me, we did, we went to the doctor, we had one of the very best team of physicians. Well, who's better than the team of the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost? That's the best team I know. I don't know any team that supersedes them, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I don't know any combination that supersedes that. Well, praise the Lord, we're going to pray. Oh, bless God forever. We sing a song, I'm so glad I learned to trust Him. Praise our God. Oh, that's not a cliche. That's not a cliche. Thank God.